So we know Srimati Radharani as Madhava Daite, as the one who is the object of Krishna's mercy. She's always carrying Krishna's mercy. And if we wonder what is the cause of her effulgence, then it is exactly that. It is Krishna's mercy. If we wonder why it is that saintly personalities have that effulgence around their heads, I'm sure you've seen the picture, then it is because of Krishna's mercy. It is simply made of Krishna's mercy, that effulgence. Otherwise, where is the question of effulgence? It is simply the joy and the happiness of relishing Krishna's unlimited qualities. Krishna's qualities are just filled with surprise, filled with so many wonderful features. Krishna never fails to capture the minds of his devotees. Radharani is interested in increasing the pleasure of Krishna. We can see in one hand a basket of flowers, in the other hand a bouquet of flowers. But is she offering with the left hand? Oh yes, she is. She's offering with both hands. But is that allowed? Can you offer with the left hand? Yes, you can. If you have pure love, then every hand is good, because the more one offers, the better. So Srimati Radharani is transcendental. She is simply dedicated to Krishna's pleasure, not worshipping the Lord strictly by rules and regulation, but worshipping Him by pure love, and then naturally acting only for His pleasure. But through her offerings, she desires to see the pleasure of Krishna increase, and then as a result see the pleasure of the devotees increase. Because Srimati Radharani, although her love is for Krishna, her love is not exclusive. Her love is not excluding others. Rather, she likes to include all. She likes to bring more and more devotees to Krishna for Krishna's pleasure. Because the more devotees are coming to Krishna, the more Krishna is pleased. So this is the inclusive nature of Srimati Radharani, who likes to push others forward to Krishna. When there is one gopi that is sort of hesitatingly approaching Krishna, Radharani is the first one to push that devotee forward. Go towards Krishna. Go, make your offering towards Krishna. Come, offer to Krishna. Come, you too. Yes, you also. Yes, you also. It is also for you today to make an offering. Why not? Is there anyone too young? Is there anyone too young to make an offering to Krishna? What's your opinion? Yes, tell me. Yeah, no, you? Yes. What do you say? Is there someone too young? Stand up. Stand. Now you tell me. Is there someone who's too young to make an offering to Krishna? I didn't hear that. No! Okay, now I have to... Well done. Okay, now I have to look at someone very old. Someone with lots of gray hairs. Well, okay, you have a lot there, but I'm watching. Anyone else? No, it's you. All right. Anyone too old to serve Krishna?
I didn't hear that. Oh, thank you.
We're never too old to serve Krishna, because by serving Krishna we always stay young. They say that young people, they look forward to the future, and old people look back at the past. at all the things that happened in the past, but not devotees. Devotees are still looking at the future, because the future means the spiritual world. Therefore we stay young. We stay young at heart, full of desire to do something extraordinary. Usually old people retire. But in Krishna consciousness there's no retirement. Devotees retire from their job so that they can have more service, more time for service. That is our nature. Because we are never too old to serve Krishna, nor too young to serve Krishna. So Radharani desires to include all, young and old, and those in between, in the service of Krishna. No one is exempt. Is it that only human beings can serve Krishna? Oh no, not at all. Animals also, they can also serve, but animals need the help of a human being. It's not that the monkeys on their own start doing arti. Not like that. But in the spiritual world, the monkeys are also serving. Because in the morning, when Radha and Krishna are resting together and do not want to wake up. You know how it is? It's hard to wake up in the morning. But it is especially hard when you don't want to wake up. So Radha and Krishna are resting in the morning together, and they don't want to wake up. They don't want to wake up. But there's a monkey that wakes them up with a lot of noise. So in this way, monkey business can also be engaged in the service of Krishna. And then Radha and Krishna return to their homes, where then Mother Yasoda comes to wake Krishna. And Krishna is exhausted because he didn't sleep at all night. His Rasa Leela pastimes. And then in the morning, Mother Yasoda said, Krishna, he has difficulties getting up. Yeah, no wonder he didn't sleep at all. Radharani, she also, somehow or other, she's dressed in the wrong cloth, in a yellow dhoti, and Krishna in a blue sari. These things go on, and Mother Yasoda thinks, why does Krishna wear Balaram's dhoti? And Mukhara, the grandmother of Radharani, comes and says, oh, what is this? What is this? This girl is wearing golden cloth. Where did she get that? Then Lalita quickly says, look at this old lady. She's going blind. The sun is reflecting on the blue cloth and she thinks it's golden. She's really going blind. In this way they manage to confuse the grandmother. Everyone is involved in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Vrindavan celebrates. The entire Dham is present. Oh yes, the wind. The wind provides soft and gentle breezes. The trees are providing flowers and the wind carries that scent. The forest of Vrindavan is inviting. The full moon is shining bright to attract Radha and Krishna to transcendental pastimes. Everyone desires Radha and Krishna to meet, except Jyotila and Kotila. Kotila is described. She has breasts like string beans and a belly like a pot. And the other gopis are saying, because of her extraordinary beauty, Kotila is the only gopi in Vrindavan that is not attracted to Krishna. It's from the nectar of devotion. Srila Prabhupada's writing. So, in this way, the spiritual world is playful. The spiritual world is filled with personalities. It is not dry. It is not about shanti, shanti. It is exciting. Spiritual life is full of excitement, full of new experiences. Yes. Srimati Radharani is the queen of Vrindavan. She is treated by the other gopis as the queen. They place her on a throne. They worship her. They are simply ready to serve any of her whims. Whatever she desires, they will fulfill and they will assist. And Radharani is simply pointing at Krishna. We can see how Srila Prabhupada, as a spiritual master, was teaching everyone, and devotees would just, at his whim, do whatever he desired. In his final days, Prabhupada was made one more journey to London, and at that time he was not very fit. And then, usually, Prabhupada would play either a gong in the kirtan or kirtans in the kirtan. But now Prabhupada was not doing that anymore. Prabhupada was just simply sitting on the Vyasasana. He was not fit. But his finger was dancing. And as his finger was dancing, the devotees were jumping up to the ceiling, controlled by his finger. Wherever Prabhupada was, that was the center of the world. Wherever he was, all the devotees were looking at that place. But Prabhupada would always point at Krishna. Radharani is in exactly the same mood. Exactly the same mood. She is also the center of everyone's attention. Wherever she is, everyone is captured by her qualities. Not only Krishna is attracted to Radharani, but everyone is attracted to Radharani. Everyone is just melting, seeing that pure devotion in Srimati Radharani. It is just too touching, too overwhelming. It's just amazing. How can anyone have that much love for Krishna? And all eyes are on her, and she is pointing at Krishna. And just looking at Krishna. She is never bewildered by all that glorification, all that worship, all that admiration. It doesn't touch her. She's simply taking that and turning around and offering it to Krishna. All that admiration for me, yes, let it go towards Krishna. Because it is Krishna who is the source of my happiness. It is Krishna who awakens my love. And if you see anything, any ecstasy in me, it's a gift. It's a gift from Krishna. And if I have any love, how can I not have love when Krishna has such amazing qualities? How can one not love? There's no credit. Oh, by the way, I have the highest form of love of God. I haven't just realized Krishna consciousness partially. I've realized it to an extent like no one else can match it. No, nothing like that. Because she sees that love as the gift of Krishna. In this way, we are contemplating. In this way, we are meditating. And we are looking at Srimati Radharani, who is looking at Krishna. And following her gaze, we are also looking at Krishna. Where is Krishna? Krishna is learning how to dance. Where? On the banks of the Yamuna. Oh, he's learning how to dance? Yes. Who's his teacher? Srimati Radharani, who is dancing on the banks of the river, and Krishna is dancing behind, following every of her movements. That is Krishna. We know that when when a boy or a man is very much in love, then he can only see that object of his love. And wherever she looks, he looks. When she listens, he listens. When she sits, he sits. Whatever she does, he will do. He will follow. In this way, Krishna, as she was dancing, Krishna was dancing behind. Whatever move she made, that captured Krishna's full attention. Krishna could not think of anything else but Srimati Radharani. He was just, even in his dreams, he was dreaming about Srimati Radharani, thinking about Srimati Radharani. There is nothing else on Krishna's mind. It is described that Radharani was experiencing strong feelings of separation from Krishna because of Purvarag, because of remembering him. So she was remembering Krishna, and as a result, she was experiencing so much separation. So she wanted to go into the forest of Vrindavan, because in the forest of Vrindavan, you can meet Krishna. You might just meet Krishna in the forest of Vrindavan. So therefore, many pilgrims from everywhere go to the forest of Vrindavan to meet Krishna. So Radharani became a pilgrim. Oh yes, she went into the forest of Vrindavan with a desire to meet Krishna. And she was roaming here and there in searching out Krishna. Meanwhile, feeling strong feelings of separation because of remembrance of Krishna. Vishaka had come along. And Vishaka was also there alone with Srimati Radharani. Then Vishaka, who is a very good artist and who is really expert, right? She made a perfect picture of Krishna. Absolutely perfect. Recently I was in France for Balaram's appearance day, and I met there the artists Ramdas Abhiram and his wife Dhriti, who have painted many of the paintings in Srimad Bhagavatam. And Ramdas Abhiram said that when we paint Krishna, we should not paint a cartoon. He said we should not paint a cartoon. We should paint Krishna realistically. We should paint him as he really looks. So Ramdas Abhiram was saying, I've been trying to figure that out. I've been trying to figure out how Krishna really looks. How can I paint him as he really looks? He says, this has become my lifetime's meditation, how to paint Krishna, how he really looks. And Prabhupada said we should paint him with depth. We should paint him like with depth, not like just like a cartoon or like many times in Indian paintings. No, with depth, Prabhupada said. Anyway, Vishaka, she knew how to paint Krishna. She could paint Krishna as he really was. And she just made a drawing of Krishna with so much look like Krishna. When Radharani saw that drawing, immediately she totally fell in love with the drawing. And she just became overwhelmed by attraction to Krishna. And as a result, her separation became double. It became double. So Vishaka had made a drawing to try and relieve her feelings of separation, but rather the opposite result. Her separation increased and became double. So what to do now? Now Radharani was totally out of control and just saying, oh, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Now, where is Krishna? All right. No, Krishna is very near. He's not far. Oh, how can I even tolerate any distance from Krishna? Where is Krishna? It's like, where is he? I must meet him now. Meanwhile, Krishna himself was also experiencing separation from Srimati Radharani, and Krishna was also in the forest elsewhere, and Krishna was accompanied by Sridham, the brother of Srimati Radharani, and by Madhumangal. And as Krishna is walking there in the forest, he can only think of Srimati Radharani. So finally, but he sort of keeps his cool externally. He doesn't look like he's totally overwhelmed. He actually looks like he's still in control of himself. But then he says, oh Sridham, don't you think that Srimati Radharani is the most beautiful girl in the entire universe? And Sridham is just like, and Madhumangal says, it's his sister. Talking Krishna. So Krishna is also overwhelmed by separation. Then, feeling that mood of separation, Radharani can no longer tolerate it, and in order to find some relief, she takes a little bit of the kumkum, which is on her forehead because she is married, right? And she takes a little bit of that kumkum, and on a green leaf, she writes the name Krishna. Then she wanders on into the forest looking for Krishna. Where is Krishna? Simply searching Krishna. And then Krishna also wanders through the forest, and he passes that leaf, and he sees the name of Krishna written on that forest, and he can immediately understand who has written it. He knows it's Srimati Radharani. And he takes his flute and he plays his flute, and as that name written by Radharani is just put in the red color of the kumkum, sets his heart alight, and it's burning in red flames of attraction to Srimati Radharani. And Krishna plays on his flute, and all those feelings are echoing through the flute throughout the entire forest. Radharani hears that flute and she goes mad and goes, what is this sound? What is this sound? What is this sound? This sound is driving me mad. What is this sound? She goes, I am most unfortunate because I have simultaneously become to Purusatraya, to three men. I have become simultaneously attached to three men. As a result, out of shame for this, I better die. And then Vishaka says, no, they're not three men. They're one and the same. And Radharani goes, one and the same? Yes, that person you are attached to from previous experience, Krishna. That boy who was there in the drawing, and now the one who is playing the flute, the same person. Radharani is saying, the same. This is the amazing effect of love of God. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described that when Narada Muni was getting the personal darshan of the Lord, that all his senses became awakened at the same time. You know, when you really get into the kirtan, has it happened to you that you close your eyes? Switch off eyes. And then at one point you're just all ear, you know, it's all, your ear grows 10 times as big, you have a huge ear on the back, on the side of your head, and people say, oh, he's all ear. Listening, just so absorbed in that one sense of listening. Now imagine that you're totally absorbed in that sense of hearing. Now imagine that simultaneously your eyes are popping out of their sockets, and that simultaneously you're just totally seeing and totally absorbed in seeing. And then, because you see the form of Krishna, and then you smell the tulsi at Krishna's lotus feet, and then you're just all nose. And it's and all the senses are competing with one another for attention. Can you understand the confusion that comes about in that state of Krishna praying? When suddenly all the senses are awakened, we have no such experience. Our senses are dull, our senses are sleeping, we are like zombies, we are like sleepwalking through the world. The soul is asleep. Oh yes, it's the mind that is enjoying sense gratification. Don't mind, let the soul awaken. Let the soul awaken. Thinking, feeling and willing, now quality of the soul, not quality of the mind. Thinking, feeling and willing. Thinking, feeling and willing. Thinking about Krishna. Wanting to serve Him. Feeling only deeply as we are thinking about Krishna. Overwhelmed by emotions. Only one desire. Somehow or other. Let us serve Krishna. Let us please Krishna. In this way, we see the symptoms of pure love of God. Overtaking. You read sometimes about the devotees of Lord Chaitanya who had the same pure love, the same pure ecstatic love like the gopis in Vrindavan. And it is said that like when Gopinath Acharya was chanting the holy name, he was reeling under the impact of the holy name, as if he was thrown back by it. Right? Just the power of the name, not like the power of the beat, not like the power of the flowers. Yesterday we had flower power, like flowers thrown in our face with full force. I mean, intense. It was a rugby match in the middle there. Anyway, whatever it was. No, not like the power of the holy name in that way, but the power of Krishna. The power of Krishna being manifest in that name. That Krishna fully manifests himself in the name. We don't see dull senses, dull eyes, dull ears, dull tongue, dull nose, dull mind, dull. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The bears are loose. Krishna, dancing bears, singing bears. Dull, not seeing Krishna. Not actually appreciating, jumping like crazy, jumping like mad, but are we seeing Krishna? Is it the drum that we love, or is it Krishna that we love? Are we the noise boys, or are we actually relishing the impact of Krishna's presence in His name? In this way, Radharani is churning butter from yogurt and starts just chanting the holy name, and then she catches herself. Oh, what if someone will hear? In the spiritual world, the chanting of the holy name emerges out of love. So in this way, we are appreciating the amazing features of devotional service. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, we find the description of the full moon in springtime, And that at that time, Radha and Krishna and all the gopis performed the Radha dance, the Rasa dance. And we heard that Krishna was playing his flute at Bamsivat. Bamsivat is on the Yamuna. And there, when Krishna played his flute, each of the gopis heard something different. It is said when Krishna plays his flute, the peacocks that are usually dancing become stunned. They cannot move. The cows become stunned. They just stand like statues. Lord Shiva starts dancing and plays on his din-din drum. Little drum. And then the gopis, they hear that Krishna is calling them. Come. And Srimati Radharani, she hears, you are the only one. So in this way, the flute of Krishna is a special feature of Krishna. And in that flute, he's expressing all his attractiveness, because in the flute, he is manifesting his heart. And because his heart is manifested through the flute, that's why the flute sound is the most attractive. Because that, of course, everything about Krishna is attractive, because the nails on his toes are mother of pearl. So I don't know if most of you are wearing socks, so I can't really see if you have mother of pearl nails, but I don't think so. I could be mistaken, but you don't have any, and you don't have socks either. Sorry. Regular nails. But Krishna's nails, they're not regular. Oh, he's covering his nails now. But on your fingers, you also have nails, and they're also not mother of pearl. He's trying to cover his toenails with his fingers. That didn't work. So Krishna has mother of pearl nails on his toes, but also on his fingers. How can we compete with Krishna? No, sorry. Not impressive. No. But, so everything about Krishna is attractive, undoubtedly. But the heart of Krishna is the most attractive, because the heart of Krishna is expressing his love. So, and that captures the most. So in this way, therefore the flute is the most attractive, because through the flute, Krishna is expressing his heart. So the gopis are all reading the flute sound, and that Krishna is calling them, and they all desire to go to Bamsivat. Srimati Radharani also hears that flute sound, and what she is hearing, she hears, you are the only one. You are the only one. That's what she's hearing. The others don't hear that. So different devotees, they hear the sound of the flute. They read Krishna's heart in a different way. But ultimately he's calling all the gopis for only one reason. To increase the love of Srimati Radharani. Because the gopis there are many gopis. And they're made up of different groups. One group is called a Yuta. And there are different groups. Some groups, there's one group which is Radharani's own group, and Lalita is heading that group. Then another group, these are Surit Paksha. They're close friends of Radharani's group. They're headed up by Shyam. So they are always acting in support of Radharani's group. Then you have Tara's group, And Tara's group, Tara is sometimes on Radharani's side and sometimes on Chandravali's side, who is in competition with Radharani. And then you have Pali's group, Palika, she's always in competition. And what to speak of Chandravali's group, they are always trying to make some arrangement to take Krishna away from Radharani. That is going on. So in this way, amongst the gopis in Vrindavan, there's competition. There's competition. And the main personalities between whom this competition is going on is Chandravali and Radharani. And ultimately Radharani always wins. She wins. But Chandravali seems to be able to attract Krishna at times. But when Krishna is attracted by Chandravali and goes to the abode of Chandravali, that has only one purpose. It appears that Krishna is not faithful externally, but that's not the situation. The real reason is that Krishna is simply trying to increase the attachment of Srimati Radharani. So that's the only reason why such competition exists. Because Krishna's only interest is to increase the love of his devotee. And that's what he's doing. He's already doing it to us. It's already started. Samavara, little by little. Do you love Krishna? Well, not really. Really? Not at all? Maybe a little bit then. A little? Okay, you love Krishna a little bit. Just enough to stay. Not to go away. Still here. That means something must be there. A little bit of love must be there. Otherwise, why would we stay? We could do so many other things now. But no, we are here. Yes, so some love is there, but not so much. But Krishna is making arrangements to increase it. This way, that way. In many ways, to attract us. Oh yes. So it will increase automatically. It's not that how will we develop this love for Krishna? It's easy. Just stick around. Just stay close. And it will happen. Even when we go far, Krishna will still make arrangements, but it may take a little longer. If we stubbornly turn away from Krishna, then it may take some more time. But ultimately, Krishna will increase our love, because that is his objective, to increase the love in his devotees. And that is the situation. The spiritual world is known as the Prema Sagar, the ocean of transcendental love. Now imagine that ocean of transcendental love, Premamritambo Nidhi, that is what the Goswamis, that's what Srinivasacharya says about the Goswami. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamritambo Nidhi. The Goswamis are always absorbed in glorifying Krishna, the gopis, and in this way their love is simply increasing. Simply increasing and increasing and increasing and increasing. And then what does Krishna do? As the love of the gopis in Vrindavan and all the residents of Vrindavan is just growing and growing day by day. Mother Yasoda loves Krishna more day by day. Everyone, all the residents of Vrindavan, their love for Krishna is increasing day by day. And what does he do? He leaves Vrindavan. He leaves Vrindavan. He just goes away. Well, Srila Rupa Goswami has written 2 plays. One is called Vidanta Madhava, the other one is called Lalita Madhava. So I already described the Vidanta Madhava because that's that story of how Radharani is remembering the form of Krishna, then there's a drawing of Krishna, and then there's the flute of Krishna. That is Vidanta Madhava. And now I will tell you something about the Lalita Madhava. So Lalita Madhava is very interesting because Krishna has left Vrindavan. And you know, the residents of Vrindavan, they are they're in a bad way. The separation is just getting too much. It's just getting too much. And at one point, Radharani has been on the edge of death, you know, and she only lives by the rope of hope that Krishna might return. But then it just gets too much. It gets too much. And I shouldn't discuss this topic on this day of Radhastami, the day of the appearance of Srimati Radharani. But now that I've come to this point, I have to tell you what really happened. I have to tell you the truth, actually. I mean, I don't know if you can bear to hear it. Are you sitting okay? Sit down and hold your position. Fasten your seatbelt. There may be some serious turbulence coming up. Please, watch out. If anyone faints, you know, call the emergency services immediately. Get ready for this. It is terrible. No. Yes. Did it happen? No. Yes. You know, when Radharani was for days and days on the edge of death, I mean, everyone tried, everyone cried, everyone tried to save her somehow or other. But, folks, I don't know how to tell you this. You know, we're celebrating Radhastami. But Rupa Goswami, he writes in the Lalita Madhava that it just got too much. I mean, she just couldn't take it any longer. She couldn't wait, you know, for him to return. He wasn't coming, and she just couldn't tolerate it any longer. And then, you know, she just gave up her body. What do we do now? Are we going to have a party the rest of the day? I don't know. Maybe it's over. It's finished, it's over. No, she gave up her body. Don't worry. Have you read your Bhagavad Gita? Huh? Who has read Bhagavad Gita? Anybody? Oh, you have read. That's good. Anybody? You haven't read Bhagavad Gita? Yeah. Can you raise your hand? Come on, don't be so lazy. Raise the hand if you read the Bhagavad Gita. I want to see only hands, huh? So you didn't read the Bhagavad Gita? No. Then you're in trouble now, because then you don't know what will happen. But if you follow the Bhagavad Gita, then okay, that's the solution. Take that home. Right? That solves everything. Doesn't it? He didn't go to the sloka class. Yeah. Alright. As we go from boyhood to youth, to adult, to old age, similarly, we change our bodies at the time of death. So, it is said that when Radharani died, all the residents of Vrindavan died. They couldn't tolerate it. That was just too much. Everyone died. And then, what happened then? Then they all reincarnated. And Chandravali, she became Rukmini. There you go. You never knew that, Rukmini. Chandravali became Rukmini. Yes. And she was the senior queen. And Radharani then? Radharani came back. Who was Radharani? Radharani became Satyabhama. So it is described. And yes, Satyabhama was the younger queen, you know. So when the elder queen came and was with Krishna, then Krishna would be with Rukmini, my queen. Yes, Rukmini. How can I fulfill your desires? and he's looking at Satyabhama, his younger queen. And yes, Rukmini, and the same thing like in Vrindavan, whenever Krishna tried to meet with Satyabhama, Rukmini was always appearing. And then again, same thing, stolen moments, forbidden moments, moments of association, the same mood of separation, the same parakiya bhav, the same was there also in that relationship. And the whole Vrindavan was transferred to Dwarka. Dwarka, Krishna lives with 16,108 queens and 16,108 palaces. And why are there 16,108 queens? Why does Krishna have 16,108 queens? Because there are 16,108 gopis. Because Krishna only thinks of them, and among them, only of Srimati Radharani, ultimately. So in this way, Srila Rupa Goswami took us deep into the emotions of separation, the emotions where love of God is increasing in hankering, manifold. But isn't that terrible? We know stories of the prince and the princess that got separated and they stopped eating, and it's just a terrible story. Tragedy. Big tragedy. You know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about? When somehow or other it goes wrong and then there's separation. And isn't that just misery? So how is it that the highest sentiment in the relationship between Radha and Krishna is separation? How can it be the highest? Isn't it misery? She even died. My God. And then she reincarnated, but gosh, that's intense. So how is separation the highest? Because in separation from Krishna, there is immediately remembrance of Krishna. And when you remember Krishna, because you're remembering Krishna, you're not remembering an ordinary thing. When you remember Krishna, immediately that is fulfilling. And immediately there is ecstasy when you remember Krishna. Therefore the separation brings remembrance of Krishna, and immediately there's remembrance, and it becomes ecstatic. So therefore this separation is not the same like the separation that we experience in this material world. Now you can put that under your head and think about that one. It's so difficult to understand how this mode of separation is the topmost. But yet, this is when love is at its strongest. And then there's meeting again, and then again, and almost meeting, and still more separation. So this separation is alternating, where Radha and Krishna meet, and where Radha and Krishna are separated. But the deepest level of Krishna prema are experienced in that viraha bhav, that mood of separation. And that we see in Lord Chaitanya, and that we see in the Goswamis, and therefore, hey Radhe Vrajadevi ke salalite, where the Goswamis are calling out, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Have you seen 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 Krishna? Have you seen? Has anyone seen Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where? this eagerness. Where is Krishna? That is the quality of pure love of God. And we can contemplate on that as we are ending now this lecture and getting ready for what looks like another darshan. Is that what's happening next? Yes. Huh? Is it the darshan? Yes. There will be another darshan now. And let us just feel that separation. There's a curtain between us and Krishna. A curtain is separating us from Krishna. Where is Krishna? Where? Where is Radharani? Where? Where are they? Where have they gone? Where? Let us just approach that darshan with eagerness and at least a drop. And in that way try and taste a little bit, put a little bit of heart into the day. A little bit of heart in our journey to Radha and Krishna. Shri Shri Radhastami Maha Mahotsav ki Jai. Shri Shri Radhastami Maha Mahotsav ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava